All right, everybody, thank you so much for tuning in again. My name is Dylan, the sommelier here at Dimas Wine Shop and Tasting Room, and we've got another real nice lineup here for you. These are our no attitude wines for this week. So, Gregory, let's take it from the top. Let's start out with the Chardonnay. This is put out by Mira. So Mira is the winery. They are based out of Napa. Specifically, the fruit comes out of oak knoll, and even beyond that, more specifically, it comes out of their Las Trancas vineyards. Now, this is fermented in stainless steel with a little bit of neutral French oak for 12 months. Everything's 12 months on this wine. 12 months on the lees with minimal stirring, and it goes through no malolactic fermentation, but it certainly has got a creaminess to it that is kind of indicative of that. It is a full-bodied wine, but a lot of tropical and citrus notes. And I was just telling a couple of people here at the shop just minutes ago how this really has turned into probably my favorite wine on this tasting. So it's rare that an opener is my favorite, but I think that Chardonnay is absolutely outstanding. So many foods you can pair with that. So as we're getting into grilling season, I think that this is a great way to do like some grilled shrimp, some grilled swordfish. I think anything, because it does have some oak to it. I think it can stand up to any of those grilled light dishes. Let's go over to a Juan Gil wine. This is the Honoro Vera. This is the 2013 Grenache, or what the Spaniards call Garnacha, which is, and it comes from Catalayud, and Catalayud is kind of sandwiched right in between Madrid, which is almost in the center of Spain, and as if you were to go kind of northeast as you go into Pamplona and eventually into San Sebastian, kind of right in between there, there is a village called, or an area called Catalayud, which is where this comes from, and it is 100% Grenache. It's real peppery, real peppery. It's fermented in stainless steel, and then it sees 2 months of neutral oak, of neutral French oak. So what I like about this wine, it definitely has got that old Grenache taste to it, because these are 40-year-old vines. So it has that spiciness to it. It has that depth to it, but at the same time, it maintains a lot of that acidity from stainless steel and very minimal oak. So another great wine. In fact, for those of you that know our cheeses well, we do a couple of the goat cheeses here, and the one that's got the lavender, I can't remember the name of it right now. Greg, do you remember
Purple
the
Haze.
one? The Purple Haze, thank you so much. So the Purple Haze, when I was tasting this wine, the Purple Haze would go absolutely on point with that wine. So when you're in here, try that. Then we're going to go on to this is the 2010 effort of Chateau de Belle, which is a Bordeaux Superior. And let me explain. A Bordeaux Superior just means that, well, technically it means that it could be blended from anywhere within the AOC region of Bordeaux. So sometimes you'll see Bordeaux, then you'll see Bordeaux Superior, and then it starts getting into individual regions or sub-districts, and then into individual chateaus. What we've got here, this is 100% Merlot, and unlike anything, well, I should say anything with the exception of a couple, this is 100% Merlot and it sees no oak. It would be very rare to see Bordeaux wines that are not oaked, on the red side, I should say. So, but here we go. Here's one of them, 100% Merlot. The tannins are real minimal on this. The acidity is bright. Great food wine. And you can even do this with like some fish, because really the tannins, like I said, are minimum. I mean, I would definitely think about doing this with a paella. I think it actually would work out really well. It's got this real fruit-forward characteristic to it, kind of like plummy and fresh cherries. Then we're gonna move over to Paso. I should have said Bordeaux, France, for those of you that weren't following me. But here we go to the Dubost. And here we go, Dubost is out of Paso Robles, and Dubost always has kind of that, there's a characteristic to Dubost which is very indicative of their wines, which is a good thing. I don't want to make it sound like it's anything other than that. It's a good thing, but here we've got a blend. This is called their Homestead Blend. And their Homestead Blend, are you ready for this? Consists of 34% Malbec, 24% Syrah, 18% Tempranillo, It's got 12% Negrette, which is just another type of grape, 6% Chardonnay, and 6% Viognier. Now, to say that 12% of this red wine is white wine is on the rare side. You would rarely see white wines injected with probably more than 5%, but most common 2 to 3% of an injection of white wine. And this one's got 6% Viognier and 6% Chardonnay. And this wine, when you taste it, there's just flavors everywhere. It's got real bright cherries to it. So it's tart. And once again, another great food-friendly wine. I know we got Easter coming up and we're going to have a whole Easter theme on this. But for those of you that wanted to do something on the Easter side with this would go great with a ham. It just has a lot of those characteristics to go with side dishes. It'll go well with even some pies, and it'll definitely go together. It'll go well with if you wanted to do a leg of lamb or if you wanted to do a ham. I think this would be an outstanding choice. Now, Gregory, we're going to go right over to the Finca del Origen, which is, this is a Mendoza. This is a Mendoza wine. So Mendoza, Argentina, and Valle de Uco is the specific region within Mendoza. So it sits at the base of the Andes. These are a little bit higher elevation wines. And here we've got their Cabernet Sauvignon. It's 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, 6 months on French oak. And it comes from the La Esperanza vineyard that they farm there. And this is a reserve. Now, from a legal point of view, there is no legal bylaws that they have to abide by in order to call it a reserve. But when they say reserve, it just means that these are more hand-selected grapes. Like I said, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon, real peppery, real full-bodied. And once again, it just has that really nice acidic finish. And I kind of think that as we're going through this theme of these no-attitude wines, you know, I was just talking to Greg about this a little while ago. It's like, I really didn't know what that meant until I started tasting these wines. And I'm thinking, okay, we've chosen wines really that are kind of acidic. They aren't super complex, because you're not going to find a super complex wine in any of these. They're going to have layers of flavor, but they aren't going to be wines that you're going to be tasting the next day. And I think here's another perfect example of this. So this is, like I said, 100% Cabernet Sauvignon from Mendoza, Argentina. Then, last but not least, we go over to our good buddies over at Cass in Paso Robles. So we've got 2 Paso wines here. Our buddies at Cass have been doing some really good wines for some time. And I always like, drinking their wines. I like talking about their wines. I like presenting their wines. But this is their Rockin' One. This is a blend. It's almost like a GSM blend, except it does have a little bit of Petite Syrah to it. So, but it does have those bright characteristics. It does spend 22 months on a combination of French American oak, which is why we've put it down here at the very end, because this is definitely a more full-bodied GSM blend with a little splash of Petite Syrah than you're ever going to try. I think what I like about this wine is they took the first 10 months and aged all the varietals separately. All the varietals were aged separately for 10 months in their individual casks. Then they brought them for the last year together. They blended them all together, put them all again in barrels, and aged them together for just, you know, a little bit more of that combined fruit that you get when it's integrated in the barrel for, you know, a year plus, or sometimes even up to 2 years. But a real great effort by Cass. This is the Rockin' One. I love what they do. Smoky, licorice, leathery, a little cassis even. But I would definitely be throwing some grilled steaks on this one. And you know, that isn't classic of Mourvèdre, you know, or especially on a GSM blend. I would think about more like barbecue sauce, but this one just says, because of that smokiness, this one really just says do something like a grilled ribeye with this. So, folks, I look forward to seeing you this week. I'll be here a couple of times this week, and Cooper is here. You know, we've got a couple of new people here. A lot of you have met Serena, who's just been just a really nice addition to our staff. She's got a great personality. We just added Luke, who comes with some good experience, and also once again, I've heard nothing but good feedback from these first two from these new individuals. And of course, we all love Chris, and she's already kind of already made her mark here at the shop. So thank you all for tuning in. Appreciate it. We will see you soon. Cheers.